So I want to get back to Tina Fey, because in addition, she's one of our 10 most fascinating. And in addition to showing us how she did Sarah Palin, because this was Tina Fey's year, and how Tina Fey and how Sarah Palin can say anything, but she smiles as she's. Okay, she did something that's not in our actual special, but we wanted to show it to you because remember when they made such fun of us on The View? Well, Tina Fey was a writer on Saturday Night Live, and she was the one who wrote it.
12 years ago, right?
Well, yeah, but it went on for a while, so we asked her what on earth she thought was so funny about us. So take a look. You wrote the original parodies of The View.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. What struck you funny about us?
Well, so many things. It struck me as funny because I feel, especially in the beginning, although it's happening again recently, there was a lot of everyone talking at the same time.
What do you mean we're talking at the same time? I don't know what you're talking about. We don't talk at the same time. Why? Are you trying to say something while we're talking at the same time?
It's hard to imagine that that was before. There was so many incarnations ago of The View. That was just starting at the time, and I remember going in, and a lot of the guys that work hadn't seen the show yet, and when we were like, no, this is the thing. Trust me, this is a thing that's happening.
Could you make fun of us now?
Could I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
What
but I
would
don't
you make
have to
fun
do
of?
that anymore. They're just great characters. I mean, Elizabeth and Whoopi and Joy. They're just. But it's funny.
You don't find me funny.
No, you are the voice of reason.
That's right. I'm the center. Yes, you better say that again.
You are the voice of reason in
Thank you.
Crazy Storm.
She's great.
She's wonderful on this special.
But she also says in your interview that she doesn't think that her Governor Palin impression had any real impact on the election. But, comedians made so much news weighing in on the election. But, I mean, do you think that they swayed voters? Do you think that helped to work it or not?
I think you disagree with me, but I feel like people had their minds made up. I think that Tina Fey, they were very funny impressions, but she didn't do anything but shine the light on what was already there. Most of her impressions were word for verbatim what Sarah Palin said.
That was
Sarah Palin's
That was the joke.
Yeah.
It's like when you quote President Bush, and you say the crazy things he says, it gets a laugh. You don't even have to write this stuff. That's how bad.
You shine the light on what was already there.
Minus the flute scene that we all saw. There's no talent portion. Remember that? I mean,
she does that on our special too.
She definitely. I think people. If it were an exaggeration or, like you said, a representation, I think people were just constantly reminded of it, and it kind of brought it to the forefront. They kind of implemented, what was it, the Thursday night, Saturday Night Live, and I think right before the election, I think that she's being modest. I think it did have an impact on people's decisions, if not confirmed what they already believed.
She said something else which is interesting. I mean, all of that, we tried on 10 Most Fascinating People, to try to make each one a little nugget, so to speak. But one of the things we said to her is that so many comedians seem to be unhappy misfits of drugs and alcohol. We said you avoided all of that. And she says is that women that I've met in comedy are much less of that. That for some reason it's really the boys who are the more rebellious. The women comedians that I know, they're good daughters, good students, and their only act of rebellion is doing comedy.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's a good point, don't you?
No.
No, I don't.